My nutrition probably 2 years ago was I'm going to eat as many salads a day as I can. My steaks were going to be the leanest cuts of meat ever. I'd stay away from chicken thighs. I'll have chicken breast because there's less fat. And I mean, as we know in America, like, especially the government and all these big, corporations are saying, stop eating red meat, stop eating animal fats, go the plant-based route. Like, that's what's causing cancer and all of these chronic diseases. And I fully bought into that. But on the flip side, I wasn't recovering well. I had a lot of brain fog. I was waking up with headaches all the time. My testosterone was really low for someone 21, 22 years old who's a high performing individual. It should be really, really high. So I started to ask questions. I'm like, why am I eating the right way, or at least the way that I think I should be eating, training my butt off, doing all the recovery, every modality that you can think of, but I'm still not feeling good. So I was like, all right, maybe I need to at least try something. And that's what I'm huge on now is I'm going to try something. And if I feel like it works, I'm going to stick with it. And if it doesn't, well, I've got concrete evidence from myself that that wasn't for me. So I put away the veggies for about a year. I really, really focused on quality grass-fed cuts of beef, a lot of pasture-raised eggs. I'd incorporate some beef liver, some beef heart, raw cheeses, raw milks. And within the first probably 2 or 3 weeks, like the biggest thing I noticed was energy and mental clarity. I just felt really, really good. And it's not like a jittery energy like you get from high dosage of caffeine, but it's like this natural feeling of I just want to get stuff done. I want to be active. I want to be moving throughout my day, and I just feel good. And I was like, whoa, okay, I think we're onto something here. So I went about 6 months, and I used Blokes. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
They're awesome.
yeah, Josh Whalen has absolutely killed it in the game, and I started working with them, and so we got my testosterone. I want to say it was in December, and my test was probably in the 420, 440 ranges. 6-7 months later, it was up to about 950.
Wow.
And they asked me, they're like, dude, what'd you take? And I was like, I promise you, I haven't taken anything. And I mean, I get tested by WADA, USADA, all the drug testing companies that you can think of. And I can really attribute it just from putting in the raw materials that my body really needs and not being afraid of cholesterol and saturated fat. And it worked wonders for me. And so tweaked a little bit, from where I started to where I'm at today, but I'm still a huge proponent of focusing your diet on quality cuts of animal products.
Especially for high performing athletes like both you guys, it's crazy to me to think that there's fear around cholesterol, but the fear in food is so wild that they've just basically psyoped people into thinking that green is immediately a health food.
It's unbelievable.
Have you guys had success convincing your friends to get on board?
I got my brother fully on board.
Okay.
This kid is cooking in his dorm room at Cal Poly with a Blackstone hanging out of his window so the smoke doesn't cause the smoke alarm to go off. Cooking ribeyes, bacon, and eggs for all of his roommates. I mean, they're hooked. I've got a lot of people, I think, changing the way they look at food. Maybe they're not full-on animal-based, but they're starting to have a better relationship with fats and red meat and higher like, I guess, amounts of fats, because a lot of people think fat's the enemy. I think it's one of our best friends in the right dosages. But
I think I'm someone who kind of doesn't like to be like, you need to be doing this, do this. You're dumb if you're not.
Totally.
Because I don't like when people do that to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of just try to like show my friends, I guess, the way I eat. And then if they ask me questions, obviously I would love to help them understand it. But I don't really push it on people. I think that the way, like, just by a lot of friends being like, what, so you eat ground beef every single night for dinner? They'll kind of start like trying it, and they have. And a lot of my friends have like become a lot more interested in it throughout the last year or two, like Christian. But yeah, I think I don't want to go back anytime soon.
Yeah. Have you noticed anything? Because I feel like I played baseball, you played golf. A lot of times people will be like, well, you don't need to be that fit or like care too much about your health in either of those sports. But I think it's like a huge misnomer. Like the best athletes in both of those sports are freaks. Yeah. So I'm curious, like, have you seen that actually come through in the performance, just dialing in the nutrition?
Yeah, I have. When I was in college, I kind of just like would wake up, eat cereal. I mean, you're going to freaking 5:30 a.m. lift, and then you got class from 8 to 11:30. Then you drive straight from class to the golf course 45 minutes away, and then you play 18 for qualifying, and then you go home. So like the nutrition it was just like you have to be really disciplined to get it in, and I didn't have a great understanding of what it was. So pretty much on like between hole 7 and hole 12 of every single qualifying round in my college career, I'd have a gnarly stomach ache. And it's because I would eat like just like go to a sandwich shop after class on the way to the course, and then have pretty much my on-course diet would just be like almonds. And I was like, why am I getting such bad stomach aches? Like gnarly stomach aches, because my stomach's empty and then I'm just putting almonds in it, and I'm burning 4,000 calories after working out and going to class and not eating pretty much enough for what you should be.
Right.
But now I literally just eat beef jerky or like some type of, like the chomp sticks are great. Any type of high quality, like just beef and salt basically in a dried meat stick basically. And then applesauce packs, like the Go-Go Squeeze or like the store brand.
Yeah.
I am massive on those. I feel great the entire round. I'll start eating applesauce on like hole 3 and then beef jerky on like at the turn, and then applesauce on like 14, and I feel great the whole round. So it's been very beneficial for me.
I didn't know they had packs of applesauce,
Oh,
like
dude.
the squeeze packs.
Go-Go.
That's actually
The
legit.
best pre-workout, the best on-course snack. It's really good because in a golf tournament you're fighting so many ways. You're competing against yourself, the golf course, the weather, and then when you got a stomach ache on top of it, it's just gnarly.
Well, it's such a mental game too, where if your like stomach is messed up, you're not going to be able to be fully there when you're making that.
And it
next
sounds like a
shot.
small thing, like if you've never played in a golf tournament, but golf tournament versus playing around a golf with your friends is a completely different sport.
Yeah. Yeah. The gut and the brain are connected. So if you're dealing with gut issues, it's just like you're dragging that whole round. It's funny too. I feel like, it's so easy to ignore nutrition for a sport like golf and baseball.
So easy.
But then you're just not dealing with any of the downsides of having a terrible diet, which is massive.
Yep.